Good day, everyone. Pastor Loranda LeDrew here, and welcome to the Global Salvation Prophecy Station. We have a few updates for you today, but first I want to tell you where the gospel can be found, which is 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verses 1 to 4, and the ABCs of salvation are in the description box below. Well, guys, it's all getting set up for the Antichrist. The financial situation with the banks are now getting worse. As of Saturday morning, which was 3 days ago, the Credit Suisse CFO and employees got called in to clean out their desk days after they had received a $54 billion assistance package from the Swiss National Bank. In hopes for it not to be a total loss, they are merging now with UBS as it agrees to buy Swiss, but it will be at a cost of less than $1 per share, which is horrible. The Saudis will not be happy with this, as many of them has gotten robbed by this action, which is considered to be an emergency rescue. People do not realize how many people have gone bankrupt in the last couple of weeks since the big crash with the banks, Silicon Valley Bank and the Republic Bank and the Signature Bank in the U.S. It has caused a lot of havoc with a lot of people, a lot of losses, and so on and so forth. And a lot of these people in the Middle East and that is getting affected is big all over, certainly global, is big wealthy people in big industries. And a lot of them are in the oil industry. So many people may look at this and say, well, that's all the way over there. Every bit of this, people, affects everyone globally. That's just not to one area or to one country. This is worldwide. So what happens in those places will affect your dollar and your bank account. So the stock market is a mess and it keeps going up and down because they are feeding it digitally to show the numbers. This will only create the dollar to crash overnight. It'll be like it can happen instantly. And we know why this is happening, as it is to bring in the digital dollar and the cashless society. So that's why we say the rise of the Antichrist, which is also known as the beast system, is alive and well and is very active right now. And it will again affect every single person. So in the Middle East, folks, Putin and China's President Xi is meeting today. It is a meeting taking place in Moscow, just as the U.S. announces more weapons to the Ukraine. They are sending $350 worth of military aid to the Ukraine war. This is the 34th aid package sent to them since August of 2021. This includes ammunition, rockets, radiation missiles, boats, tanks, and so on. All that's happening while the debacle is taking place with Trump, and he is apparently to be arrested today or tomorrow, which he claims that he will not put up a fight. He will just let it happen. Obviously, he has something else in mind that will help him out in the long run. And there is also an arrest warrant out in some countries for Putin. So we have Putin and Trump with arrest warrants. I mean, yeah, it's all a false flag to occupy people while they do underhanded business with what is going on with places in the Middle East and that. So there's no doubt it's all planned, folks. So we'll see what that brings about in the next few days. This afternoon, actually just about an hour or so ago, an earthquake as hit Afghanistan. It has been reported to be a 7.7, and it has affected the whole Middle Eastern area, even as far as China has been shaken due to this quake. Now, Apparently, the earthquake maps are playing with the numbers. They are not telling people exactly how big those quakes are. They are trying to cover it up. The quake was noted to be by several different agencies a 7.7, but apparently the US, the UGGS one is saying that it's now downgraded to just a little over a 6, like 6.2, 6.4, maybe something like that. So they are playing with the numbers. Other agencies has come out and said that this is being covered up. They are not wanting the people to know that how bad those quakes actually are, and they want to make it look on the earthquake map like it is a normal thing, that there's nothing really happening, when the truth is, guys, the earthquakes are off the charts. They are bigger than ever before, and they are happening very close together globally all over the world. So, I mean, you got earthquakes happening from 50 to 70 hot a day, and give or take, less and more some days. But it is, the earthquakes are in diverse places, as the Bible tells us, and they are stronger than what they are putting it to be. So, anyway, guys, in other news, millions of fish has been found dead in the Australian River. Apparently, the fish is, they're not even sure what's happening with it. I don't think it has got anything to do with earthquakes or anything like that. I haven't seen anything written up on it that is suggesting that it's anything like that. So people may think it's some radiation effects, something that may be coming in from the sun. We're not quite sure exactly what's happening, but as you can see in the picture behind me, um, it's unbelievable. The entire river in Australia is covered, and I mean, it's a lot of dead fish. It's a lot of waste, I guess, and yeah, big things are happening globally, and a lot of it, like I said, is being covered up. They don't want the people to know, but I mean, you cannot hide things like this. I mean, with everybody these days with cell phones and internet, and that, so you can't just cover everything up like you could years ago. So it's going to get out there. It may be slow down, it may take a bit of time for it to get out, but it'll definitely get out, and people can see the absolute chaos that this world is in. So anyway, we had an extreme solar flare erupt on the sun yesterday. There are dangers that in the next few days that this will cause issues with the electrical grids. So it apparently, those, the sun is gone absolutely absurd. It's like never recorded in history. Those solar flares are huge. They are HEM class and X class flares. They're gigantic explosions that's happening in the sun. The activity has increased like never recorded before in history. And they are sending those solar flares, those explosions are sending solar flares directed at us. Some of them have been pretty bad, and they missed us. They were on the backside of the sun, but there are as many that has come in and that has caused issues with cell phones, electrical grids, radiation, airplanes, everything. It has affected cell phones and your internet and that. So this is happening daily, and it is several sometimes a day, and a lot of them are headed directly towards Earth, which apparently, according to Mike from Around the World, it is weakening our atmosphere, your hemisphere, and things like that, and it is coming into Earth. The radiation is actually getting in, and it is causing a lot of problems and can create sickness. So we need to keep eye on the sun. As the Bible tells us, there will be signs in the sun, moons, and the stars, and nations with perplexity. So we see that happening right at this moment. And California is being hit with yet another atmospheric river. This creates flooding, mudslides, and it has caused death and injury with the residents there in the last few weeks. And we have seen that happening apparently. Um, there's so much going on with the storms and that right now that they are actually creating new words to describe it. So they're expanding their vocabulary as such. They are calling it rain bombs, river bombs, atmospheric bombs. You'll hear different words for it. But apparently, the clouds are gathering a lot of rain, a huge cloud, and it's taking it to a certain area and just dumping it all at once. And it's creating flood, and people have lost their lives in it. So, California is now has been hit with a few of those, and apparently there is another one coming. And there has been a lot of lives lost in that area for these new weather terms that they're creating there, and all the chaos that's happening within the clouds, and that I guess they can't really explain what's going on because some of these things they have never seen before. So yeah, it's causing a lot of havoc on the residents there. So, and there's another earthquake. This one was in Ecuador. They got hit with a 6.9 quake. At least 14 people have been reported dead, and the toll is expected to rise in the coming days. Now, again, those solar flares are what's creating a lot of earthquakes, and it is also creating volcano eruptions. And right now, there is so many volcanoes that is going off globally again, like never before. So there's one reported. I'm not quite sure where the area is now, but they're saying that in the streets there is steam coming up through the streets, and somebody was there warning them to like get out because there's a volcano underneath and is about to go off. So I'm not quite sure on that one yet where that is. But I don't think it's on this side of the world, but still, no doubt wherever it's at, it will, if it goes off before the people get out, that it will create a lot of death in that area, which is never good. And we know that the one that went off in Turkey about, I think it was around a month and a half ago now. That one, they still have not gotten all the debris cleared up or all the fallen buildings and that. So they are still finding bodies. And the last report was over 50,000 people that has been found dead in that quake, which is one of the biggest quakes ever. So things are picking up, guys, and it's not easing up. So anyway, that's it for this report. I will be back with more as it becomes available. Please subscribe to this channel and share it. If you need a Bible, we will send you one for free. Just email us your address. Our email address is in the description box below, as well as the links to this broadcast and the ABCs of salvation. Have a great day, everyone, and God bless.